Well, we got a bit of breaking news. Now, I was a little late to this, so some more stuff developed, and I'm glad it did because my initial reaction was going to be more harsh than the one that you're seeing now. But it still will be. I still have some things to say. So let's get right into it, man. Jameson Williams, which is all I care about in this entire scenario, has been suspended 6 games of the 2023 season. We lost him for 12 or 13 last year. Brad Holmes said yesterday that he was drafted for the future, and that future right now has been minused by 6 games. Let's get right into it, man. Coming from Tom Pelissero, this was a statement from Brad Holmes less than an hour ago. As a result of an NFL investigation, it came to our attention that a few of our players had violated the league's gambling policy, said Detroit Lions Executive Vice President and General Manager Brad Holmes. These players exhibited decision-making that is not consistent with our organizational values and violates the league's rules. We have made the decision to part ways with Quintez Cephas and C.J. Moore immediately. We are disappointed by the decision-making demonstrated by Stanley and Jameson and will work with both players to ensure they understand the severity of these violations and have a clarity on the league rules moving forward. Now, what happened is, according to Ian Rappaport, he got in front of, it was on NFL Network. According to Ian Rappaport, C.J. Moore and Quintez Cephas, they gambled on NFL games, which is a no-no. Quintez Cephas is not a rookie, and C.J. Moore just got picked up by the team. We just picked this clown up again. You cannot bet on NFL games, period. So he got suspended because of that. That's what they believe. They're suspended for a year, and the Lions decided to part ways. What happened with Jameson Williams is different. Jameson Williams and Stanley Berryhill, they bet on college games, okay? And they did it from someplace connected to the team facility. And according to Ian Rappaport, that could be the bus, that could be the locker room, it was somewhere connected to the Detroit Lions. Now, it was not an NFL game, but it was a college game. And it was done inside of the facility or somewhere connected with the facility, which is a no-no. Now, apparently, these 2 individuals did not know about this, all right? So here's a statement from Jameson Williams' representation. This is from Alliance Sports. Alliance Sports confirms that his client, Jameson Williams, has been suspended by the NFL for 6 games for violating the NFL's gambling policy. This is good to hear, but still disappointing nevertheless. Jameson takes full responsibility for his actions and is very apologetic to the NFL, his teammates, and the fans and city of Detroit. However, it is important to note that Jameson's violation was not for betting on football, but rather due to a technical rule regarding the actual location in which the online bet was placed and which would otherwise be allowed by the NFL outside the club's facility. Jameson would never intentionally jeopardize the integrity of the game he loves so much and looks forward to getting back to his team as soon as possible. So it was a mistake. It was a mistake by a young man who did not fully know the rules of what he was supposed to do. And like I said before, it was a technicality, meaning they were uneducated on what the rule was. But C.J. Moore and Quintez Cephas knew exactly what the rules were because they are not new to the league. There's a rookie symposium that goes in line, and I have to believe that the NFL talks about this inside of their rookie symposium that Jameson Williams went to. This is a huge blow to the Detroit Lions. If you were looking for a fantasy team, including Jameson Williams, forget about it. Jameson Williams. At first, when I first heard the news, my instant reaction was, we were right. Everything that we said about this kid was right, okay? I went there. I went immediately there. But as more information came out, it was a rule, wasn't based on NFL games, based on college games. He bet on college games, probably from the locker room, from the bus, from the side, from maybe somebody gave him his phone on the sideline. I don't know. All speculation. But the technicality of the rule is no NFL player can bet on NFL games, period. They bet on college games, which is allowed, but it's not allowed if you are in connection with the team. So, as I said before, a locker room, the bus, whatever these guidelines are, whatever these are, they would be, you can't do it. Now, initially, I thought that Jameson Williams would be cut, meaning if he wasn't the 12th overall pick in last year's draft, he would have been cut. But seeing as how it looks like, according to Brad Holmes, it looks like this was an honest mistake that Stanley and Jameson really didn't know about. It was one of the things where you thought you were doing something right. You thought you were playing within the rules, and you were not. And you didn't know you weren't. So that, for me, is a big deal. The intent. Did he know what he was doing was wrong? According to, it looks like he didn't. He didn't. And everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. It's frustrating. It's upsetting because this is a huge blow to our team. We already don't have DJ Chark. So this is a huge blow. Now, as a fallout from this, what are the Detroit Lions going to do? How is this going to change what we do? We were talking about Quintez Cephas and him making the team or not. Well, he's not a problem anymore. He's not a problem. And if you think about it, the Detroit Lions are minus DJ Chark and we're minus Jamal Williams. So technically, we could, with the chemistry that we had, we could still have, have that 5th overall offense. We could still make do some damage. So the excitement, the damage that was done is probably, I would say, worst case scenario, we're as good as we were last year. Best case scenario, we had the number 1 offense. We're running away with the league. We're crushing the North. We have no deep threat now. That deep threat is gone. So how is Brad Holmes, a week before the draft, going to adapt to this? Do we now draft a wide receiver? This is a bad look for Jameson Williams. I'm glad that he's apologetic. I'm glad that he's going to be taught and he's going. So for me, this is what should happen. Even if the NFL doesn't do this, the Detroit Lions from this point forward, they need to have every rookie. They need to bring every player into the same auditorium that we saw with Hard Knocks, and they need to teach them. And then when the rookies come in, they need to do the same thing. You cannot do this when it comes to betting on the NFL or betting, period. This is how this works. I'm not sure if Jameson will be cut if he wasn't the 12th overall pick. But because it looks like they didn't fully understand, it was one of them things, your kids do something and you like, did you know what the rule was, right? So Jameson Williams, man, this is bad. It's a bad look for him, bad look for Detroit, bad look for the team. Brad Holmes, man, I commend the swift action that him and the Detroit Lions organization had. Swift action. Parted ways with Quintez Cephas and C.J. Moore. C.J. Moore better be glad he was even on the team. And Quintez Cephas, we ain't seen you in over a year, bro. And now you're unemployed. You have to be unemployed for a year. Now, I came out, and I'll wrap this video up, that Jameson Williams is going to lose about $5 million. I believe it's like 300 something thousand a game. I'm not sure. I just saw the tweet in passing. Should have had it pulled up for this. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I know this is pretty long for a breaking news video, but some other stuff came out between the time this actually broke and the time that I got to it. So I want to make sure that I got everything out. My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. And don't forget about the draft. I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed because I was going to pick him up for my fantasy team. But no, I'm disappointed because you have to know better. You have to know better. The NFL they have to be something in place that you can't do this stuff. To me, Jameson Williams survived on a technicality. You have to be suspended a year if you get caught doing this stuff. But the technicality is, could you imagine if Jameson Williams betted on an NFL game? He would probably be out a year. And that would be devastating to our team. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Man, go Lions.